Thank you for joining us in How to Become a Great CEO and Leader. My name is Elizabeth Paget. I'm delighted to spend this time with you, and I'd like to spend a few minutes explaining what we'll be working on together over these sessions. Now, if you were feeling ill, you would go to see a doctor who had a medical practice. And if you got into business trouble, you might go to see a lawyer who has a legal practice. Well, leadership is a practice. And that's what we'll be doing together over each one of these sessions. And I'm delighted you're here because my commitment is to your success as a leader. Now, this course is a prescription that not only heals the headaches that come with leading people, but it also stops the bleeding and gets your business or your organization, maybe your association or your office, just your team operating at a high level of performance and getting great results. That's what we're working on, the specific steps we can take to lift the results for everyone on our team and really create teamwork that works for you. Now, you probably are asking, how can I say that? Well, I have 3 reasons. I have 20 years of leading innovative teams at international and local teams and businesses. I'm an entrepreneur as well, with a couple of startups under my belt. And I've also been teaching leadership, particularly in the last 5 years. I've delivered over 1,000 hours of online leadership training to over 2,500 executives and leaders like yourself, and thousands of hours of time training. I do executive and leadership coaching, and I also consult with companies. Now, I've consulted with a company in Washington, D.C. that was a small business but a global company. And the president had asked me to work with his team of 15 directors to create an advisory board to him. In other words, create a team that could work and help him lift the whole company. I also worked with another international logistics company, well-known company, and the operational engineer asked me to work with him to help lift the performance of his warehouse. He had 1,000 employees and they were ranked lowest, and he wanted to know how to lift that performance. And what actually occurred was he recognized that not only could he lift performance, but he could create 1,000 young leaders in his organization to become the go-to location for the future leaders of that organization. Now, this course is actually going to be covering a series of very important skills and practices. And again, don't take my word for it. Put these practices to work for you and see the outcomes. See how you respond and what you observe in yourself. One of the first hallmarks of great leaders is self-awareness. And so be observing yourself as you put this to practice, and then observe the impact it has on others. Now, this course is going to teach a number of skills. Skills such as what I call the 8s: how to collaborate, communicate, how to delegate, and motivate your teams. We'll also go through a strategic plan, and I call that the Rapid Results Roadmap. It's really a strategic design that covers the vision of your organization, the vision that you hold for yourself as a leader, but the vision that you hold for the enterprise, the outcomes that you want to create, and the capacity to be able to create that compelling vision that other people can embrace for themselves and really engage in. So there's the vision, there are values, getting to know your values and knowing others' values, the people that you work with and the customers that you serve. When we know what people value, we know what moves them. And when we know what moves people, we know what motivates them. Motivates our customers, our clients, and motivates, most important of all, our teams. a rising tide lifts all boats. And we as leaders don't want to create followers. We want to create more leaders in our organization to lift that performance and become a really outstanding high-performing team. We'll also be learning a number of skills such as dealing with conflict effectively. Now, I don't know how you feel about conflict, but I know for a very large portion of my career it was something that I would love to sweep under the carpet or hope it would solve itself. Well, wouldn't it be helpful? Wouldn't it be a relief if you had a skill with a few steps that you could take, skills that were repeatable, and that would really create greater engagement? In other words, the conflict is like an invitation to engage more deeply, more meaningfully with people, and you leave them feeling better off than never having dealt with the conflict. So these are some of the things that we're going to be digging into. We'll be talking about time management and meeting mastery. How do we get the most out of our meetings so that they're quick and effective and they really get the results that you're driving for? In virtual teams, do you wind up having to work with people who are off-site? Maybe people who are teleworking, working at home, home offices. Maybe you are offshoring some of the skills and requirements that you need in your organization. There are many new forms, but what we do know is that distributed working is an emerging phenomenon in businesses across North America and around the world. How do we lead those teams effectively? Now, we also know the statistics tell us that virtual teams operate at 40% in an underperforming case. They don't get the outcomes and results that we need. So how can we design our virtual teams to really drive the results that we're looking for? Now, thank you again for being with us. This is a 30-day guarantee. There's no risk. Join us, see if you like it. It's a very substantive program. I have slides, and you will be getting all of that on the slides. I consider this like a mastermind group. You will have an opportunity to discuss your questions with me on our forum and also get input from the other people that will be joining us. We'll have participants from all over the world, and so I invite you to engage actively in the forum. You will have an opportunity to work with me directly. I would love to answer your questions, do some one-on-one coaching if you're interested in any of that. That's all available. So I invite you to collect some papers, a notebook. Invite you to take notes, because thinking is the doing part.